Alright, y'all, so today I want to do a very quick review of the New 52 Teen Titans Volume 3 Death of the Family. So, going into this volume, obviously there was a cliffhanger in the last one. The Joker had basically taken Tim Drake, aka Red Robin. And this whole volume becomes a sort of prelude and also a participation in the massive crossover event in the New 52 for Batman that became known as the Death of the Family. And they kind of give you a very quick rundown. Basically, the Joker came back in the New 52, kind of crazed version of the character. He has his face stitched back on because the Toyman had removed it a year prior in continuity. And basically, he would show up in not only the Teen Titans volume here, but Red Hood's title, Batgirl's title, Catwoman's title, Batman and Robin, and eventually the idea is that he would kidnap the entire Bat family and basically threaten to kill them all and reveal their identities and stuff, all in an attempt to basically make Batman solo again and make him stronger and the rivalry stronger as well, because he felt like the sidekicks were ruining everything. And this is kind of another part of the prelude to that massive event. To kind of give you a very quick rundown as well in terms of what actually is in the title. Basically, the Teen Titans go to Gotham City. They unite up with Batgirl. They stop a bunch of Joker toxin infected people. They team up with the Red Hood and the Outlaws, which I believe has Starfire and Speedy. They team up with them. They successfully cure them. And then we also get a issue of the Death of the Family from the Batman title. And there's also some kind of interludes basically teasing Trigon like we did in the last volume. And also the appearance of Raven. And the basic gist of that is basically Raven alongside her father are preparing an invasion of Earth. And Raven is kind of there in a radically different design that's much more akin to more of demon-esque kind of looks to stuff. And that's kind of the little bit of the tease for the future volume. And in the end of the volume, Red Robin gives the team a new headquarters, which is a yacht. And they also establish that apparently Kieran Solstice had a thing for Red Robin, and Cassie and Red Robin had a thing, and I don't know how to feel about all that. And then it's teased at the very end that Red Robin is possibly not himself. And that's kind of the basic gist of the volume. So let's get into my pros and cons and my overall opinions and initial thoughts. So for my initial thoughts, this is by far the worst volume in the series. I was really let down by this thing because it's not really a Teen Titans story. It's all a sort of prelude to the massive crossover Death of the Family. And it's all well and good and stuff, but it's like, I really wish this was more of a centered Teen Titans series. And you could have, like I said before, had issues focusing on the whole thing with Solstice and the mysterious person that she keeps seeing and all that. You even could have explored the Raven thing more, which I'm sure they're teasing for the next one. But I just feel like it was a wrong kind of choice of story. I don't know. Like I said, I think it overstayed its welcome. I mean, it was cool seeing the Teen Titans unite with Red Hood's gang, which I always find it so strange in the New 52. Starfire is part of the Red Hood and the Outlaws, if I remember correctly, but she's not a part of the Teen Titans. I find it really strange and weird. I'm just saying. I think, personally, most Teen Titan continuities I know of, Starfire is a part of it. So it's a little bit strange to see her on a different team. Regardless, it just feels like filler. It just feels like filler. I mean, they save some people, but at the end of the day, it was pointless. Red Robin still gets kidnapped and taken to the Death of the Family. The most impactful thing is the ending, but the ending still feels out of nowhere. So yeah, pretty disappointing. So let's get into my pros. I did like the artwork, like most of the New 52 stuff. It's really good. Some of the same artists have been working on this comic since the beginning are still here, and I really have to appreciate that. I also really enjoy the Raven stuff. Even though I do think they could have built up to it better and, made it more interesting. I do like the fact that they're teasing her. And I also like her more demon-inspired choice and stuff in the story. That's really cool because we don't usually see that with a lot of Raven stuff. I like the fact that she's basically, from what it sounds like in this issue, or these issues, she has embraced more of her father's destiny, and her design is also just more demon-esque in look. And I really like it because, like I said, her father is basically a demon. You know, she comes from a world like basically the one that would Doom Guy would go in and kill a bunch of demons. Like it's basically hell on earth or hell, or so to speak. And I really like that approach to it. It's different. It's much more dark than the anime. I do think the only thing I don't like about her new look is I don't like the color choices. I feel like personally she should have had a hood incorporated and also a lot more purple. I don't like the blue. But other than that, I like some of the choices here. And, some of the dialogue's pretty good. I like some of the witty dialogue between Red Hood's gang and the Outlaws and between the Titans. That's all pretty good stuff. I also like we get a little bit of development in Speedy and his kind of relation to all of this. I do like how we get a little bit of introduction to his team, which I really do enjoy because I never had read the New 52 Red Hood title. So this was a very nice introduction to these characters and stuff. And, I guess some of the ending's pretty cool. I guess I like the dialogue between them. Robin also seems to be, at least at the end, at least what it initially appears, he actually seems to be a lot more nicer and open to the members. And there's actually some pretty good dialogue between them all, which is good. So that's some positives. And some of the Joker scenes between the Red Robin and the Red Hood are also pretty solid. I didn't mind his appearance. They're pretty good as well. And there's definitely some threatening situations. Now I'm going to get into my cons. Like I've already stated, this is kind of a nothing volume. It all is a prelude to a massive Batman event. And I think that was quite disappointing. I mean, the Joker stuff's okay, but it all seems kind of pointless just because he still gets kidnapped at the end of the day. So I didn't like the focus of this volume. And I don't like how there's just, like I said, there's really not much in terms of development that happens here. And the ending is also really strange. I don't get the whole Kieran. They establish that Tim Drake's possibly not himself. And they also establish that he apparently got into it with Wonder Girl. And then in the previous panels, then it kisses Kieran Solstice. So it's like he has a thing for her, and he has a thing for her, and it's like happening at the same time. Like this guy is for real a massive player and a hoe. That's just so crazy to me. And I don't, like I said, it's explained because it's possibly because Tim Drake's not himself, but it's just really strange. It feels like they were trying to copy like the CW, but I don't think in a way that makes any sense. Like the most natural way would be a love triangle between Wonder Girl, Superboy, and Red Robin. But obviously, Superboy's like gone in this entire thing, which is very strange. I'm not sure if he's like in a crossover event at this point, like Hell on Earth or something. But just I find it really strange. So yeah, the ending was really bizarre, and this whole volume is just kind of a nothing burger. And I was really disappointed by it. So yeah, my thoughts on T Titans, the New 52 Volume 3. My thoughts on all that. All right, peace, y'all.